Pink Poodle Crafts, join the Poodle Pack. It's time to get creative and make you laugh. Make your own art today. Pink Poodle Crafts is the way.
What a good boy.
Hey, crafty family. It's me, and I'm back. So I made these book covers Wednesday night. Journal covers that I want to turn into Faux-doris. And I forgot that I had already done a mixed media mashup on something similar and turned it into a Faux-dori style notebook. Remember this? And I made the little books for it, and I put like lined paper in them. Does anybody remember that? This was the custom keeper that Shannon sent me to play with, and I did this really cool mixed media mashup cover. And then somebody had gifted me this cute little paper clip, which just went perfectly. So I've been clipping it onto the back because I thought it was so cute. So now I have these, and of course this one is smaller and this one's even smaller, so they're not the same size, but I'm going to put holes in these. This one I didn't use the little eyelets, but I'm going to use eyelets. These are the covers. I used Sari silk for the inside, but it looks like paper after I glued it in. It looks like a piece of paper, but they're really pliable. They're not super stiff. I could have taken a piece of chipboard and bent it and formed it in here, or a piece of felt actually would have been better, and that would have thickened it up a bit. And that's something you can do as well if you're working with fabric and you want to turn it into a Faux-dori type of thing. If you put a piece of felt in first and then put your inside paper or preferably fabric, glue a piece of fabric over the felt, you'll have a bit of a thicker cover and it won't be so flimsy. If you don't want it to be flimsy, I don't mind it being flimsy because once the books are in it, it's not going to be flimsy, if that makes sense. So we're going to start with this. And what I do is I make 3 holes, one in the middle and one off to each side. This way you can fit a lot of books in them. That's how I was doing it anyway. I don't know if I want to do it that way again. Do I want to do it that way? Nah, maybe I'll just do, because these are smaller, maybe I'll just do 2 holes. I'll just do the 2 holes. You can do 2 holes, you can do 3 holes, whatever. So I'll do one off to each side. Hopefully, yes, looks like it should work. So I'll do it around, let's see, gauge it. To be, let's say, here, and then gauge it to be, let's say, here. So there's my 2 holes on that side. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I just eyeball. I mean, to me, it's just too much effort to just do any other way. Eyeball one there. And let's see, eyeball one there. Good enough. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect. I'm going to try to put eyelets in it. It doesn't need it. It's not going to fall apart. It's not paper, obviously. It's fabric with paint all over it, and then another piece of fabric with lots of glue. So it's not like the holes are going to rip. That's not going to happen. It would take a hell of a lot of force to get those holes to rip. However, just for the sake of looks, I'm going to attempt to put an eyelet in. Wish me luck, because I don't usually have luck with things like these. Usually I have piss poor luck with things like eyelets. And they get on my nerves. And I never know how to use this thing properly and which thing to put in here. And let me see, I need a smaller one maybe. Let's see, did that work? Needs a little more pressure, but I think it will work. I might have to stand up to add the pressure I need. Or maybe it's not going to go. Maybe I need a more better bottom on that. It's partially done, it's just not. Let's see, did that work better? Yeah, I think it's done. Yeah, seems like it. I'll pressure it a little more. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. That came out good. Okay, got our little hole there. We'll give that another try, and hopefully it works just as well for the other 3 holes. I put it on the wrong way. You gotta be kidding me. Oh my goodness. It doesn't matter. It looks pretty on both sides. It ain't gonna matter that much because the string's gonna be in it. I ain't gonna worry about it. You can't really tell. It's not like it's rough on one side because it's really not. It actually went on quite smooth. So, yeah, you can't really tell. And especially once the, oh, that one bent wrong. Huh. That one didn't bend very well. Maybe I need to go back to the other one first and then try the bigger one. Do it in a 2-step process because the first time it worked really well. I don't know, that's what I mean. These things are persnickety. Persnickety. Leave it to me though to make a mistake with the eyelet, of course. Let's try it this way first. All right, that did the same as last time. Now I'll go to the bigger one, which will flatten it out. So I guess I got to do it in a 2-step kind of way. There we go. I felt that one really go. There we go. Not perfect, but it'll do the job. Okay. It's on there. Not my favorite thing to do in the world is play with these eyelets. Alright, let's go back to the other one. Start with that first. Why are these like bending weird? Let me see if I can straighten that out. If not, I will somehow pull it out. That's the thing with these. They don't ever just work. Yeah, there we go. That's all right. They don't ever work like good the first time you use them. They're just a freaking disaster area. Let's try that one. That's why I always have issues with them and don't really care for them, because they're so persnickety and they don't like to go. And I don't know what the trick is on how to make these work. Some people just, they're able to do it and they just go in perfectly and without an issue or a problem. Me, I'm over here struggling. See, that didn't sound good. Part of it broke off, but it's on there really well, so we're just going to leave it. That's the problem with these stupid eyelets and why I don't use them a lot of times, because I never seem to be able to. Oh, and I need to do one in the middle too. Forgot, need to do a hole in the center. I'm going to mark this with a pencil. Let's see where the middle is. 8 inches, so we're going to do it right there. Right there. And we're going to put an eyelet in it. So how exciting is that? One more. I mean, this concept of this is nice because it has a far-reaching, you know, but the problem is, for some reason, I mean, it's probably user error. It's probably me, obviously, but it's just a tad frustrating to get it to work properly. And I've looked at the instructions on it, and I just have no ability to understand a little bit more on that one. Okay. It's not pushing down all the way. There, then I end up breaking it or something. No, it's fine. It's good. All right. Phew, it's hot in here, and these glasses are killing me. They're hot. I don't like anything on my neck or my head. Whew. Let me turn my fan on real quick. I'm boiling. Boiling. Okay. So then we need to take our stringy dingy, put it out, put it in. That's what she said. And then poke it back out again and poke it back in again, like so. And then cut a piece off. And this is where you tie it. And you want it to be tight enough where it starts to kind of pucker your book a bit, because that means when you put your books in, it'll be nice and tight and not too loose. But I don't want to pucker it too much, so it's just a little guessing game. You just need to play with it, and sometimes you'll need to untie it or tie it. There we go. That's good enough, because I think that'll be fine. I'll leave that like that for now, just in case. And then we've got, I'll cut a piece plenty long enough. Oh, it just unwounded. It unwounded. And we're going to stick this in the middle. I don't know if I can get two of these in here. That's going to be a struggle, because these eyelets were quite small. And I need my glasses back again. I'm going to take this thing off, because I need to somehow get this poked through there. And these eyelets are a bit on the small side. They're not very big hoes. So I'm not sure, without using some sort of wire, if I'll be able to successfully really get these in there. And that's fun, isn't it? Maybe if I pull this tight, give me this, you jackass. If I pull that really tight to the side, I should be able to squeeze it in there, maybe. There we go. I got it. Okay. I got it. I just can't pull it through now. I don't want to. I just want to. Okay. So we're going to tie it about there. Let's see how that works out. I think that'll be perfect to go around there. Could use to be a slightly tighter, which is fine. I'll just take this and maybe be able to slide the knot down. If not, I'll wait till the books get in there and see how it is, because with the books in there, it might be more bulkier, so this will fit tighter around it. And if not, I will undo it and retie it. So, okay, there is our one. I'm going to cut these a little bit. Let's cut them even. Okay, I'll cut them more in a minute. All right, now we got number 2 here. Numero 2. Numero 2. And we're going to do the same thing. Try to see enough to do it this side so I can line it up as best that I can. Even though I'm eyeballing it. I'm usually pretty good at eyeballing. Okay. Oh, in the center. Check this again. I think they're both 8 inches. Make it the marks. Where'd my pencil go? Damn you, pencil. Stop disappearing on me. Okay, we got a mark. On your mark, get set, punch. Okay, so we got our holes. We got our hose. Our hose are punched. And now we get to do the fun task of trying to make these stupid eyelets work. Fun! 75. Okay. I have no idea. Maybe it's the top one that's wrong. Let's see. Maybe it only has 2 things, so it can't be wrong. I don't know. Confusion. I have an eyelet setter that is like that hammer thing, but I don't know how to use that either very well, so I'm kind of screwed. Every time I've tried to use that, it didn't work either. So somebody out there knows how to do it better than I do. That's for sure. Thinking that might be the problem with the bottom of it. I might try a different method for that second one. Nails, they don't let me do anything. That's what they're coming off anyway, so. Alright, let's try. Well, that's really the only one, is that. It doesn't connect it all the way. It feels like it's gonna, yeah, come out. I wonder if I did it like this and kind of mashed it down a little bit that way. I could just take my little hammer and give it a smack. Not on my glass, but I have a section of wood table over here that I can just smack it down a little bit and see if that helps. It would be better than what I was doing before. Excuse the noise. Because otherwise they split too much. Yeah, that seems to have worked. Okay. So I'll get it started with this and then I'll smack it with the hammer. Glad it only took me till the second book to figure that out. Because none of these settings on here is good for this small one. It keeps splitting the back of it like they're all too big or something. So I don't know what the dealio is with that. Get in the hole, jackass. So now I'll take it over here. Excuse the noise. Hopefully it's not too loud. Turn your volume down. But that's working much better. I get it started and stuck on there with this, and then I just give it a couple of smacks with the hammer to secure it completely down in the back, so I know that it's on there well. That's what I'm going to have to do from now on. Not that I'll remember that the next time I go to do it. But, you know. That one I don't like. I'm taking it out because it's gonna come out anyway. That one didn't. I don't like the way that one went in. Let's try another one. These are finicky little poopers. They're a pain in the ass. They're more trouble than they're worth. I think the only time they're really worth it is if you're making a paper journal and you need it to be, the holes to be secure. But with a fabric journal, I'm not sure it's even worth it. Give that a tap. Whoops. Make sure it's secure. Not easy. These make me they're making me sweat because they're frustrating. There's got to be an easier way to do it. I mean, seriously. They've got to make better eyelets than this or something. I don't know. Somebody needs to come up with something better than this crap. Because I don't feel that these are worth it. Alright, gonna bang. Okay, we're in. Alright. All of that ruckus is over with. Hairs in my face. In my face. Alright. Go from the inside, out and over. And then out, over, and back in. Out, over, and back in. And then we're going to take it good. If it comes up like that, that's actually good. When the books go in, they'll go in nice and secure that way. I'll cut that not completely short yet. I'll wait. Now I have to try to get these two in there and see what I can do. Come back here, jackass. See if I can get this in there. I'm not sure I can get them both in there at one time. Now I need the glasses back because I can't see what I'm sticking this through. No, I'm never going to get them both at once. I have to do what I did before, and that's pull it to the side enough. I gotta go off camera to do this because I gotta be able to see what I'm doing. And this needs to be nice and blunt and not frayed at the end. That is a small eyelet hole. Okay, got it. Okay, any day now. Too loose. So what I'm going to do is tie it right to there. Perfect. I'm just going to tighten it right there and chop some off. Okay. And then that will go around there. That might be a little loose. I might be able to tighten that a little bit in a minute. How I always think it's that's the hardest one to do, is that middle one for the closure. Pain in the ass, I say. Okay, so here's two. They're done. You can add charms later just by hooking a jump ring on it. So I might do that later. But for now, that is all I'm doing. And now we can work on the bookies. The bookies? What the little bookies? Let me see. So I'm going to find some paper. Something that I like. I like this. I'll probably get 2 books. I'll probably do 3 books in each. So I'm gonna do the same books in each one. So I can make 2 books out of that. I'll make 2 books out of something else. Maybe this one. Yeah, I'll do this Faux-dori. They all the same pattern. Let's do a purple one. We did that in the turquoise. Ooh, is that purple or blue? That's blue. Did we already pass the purple? They didn't have this one in the purple? I guess not. That's where the purple ends. But that's okay. I don't mind using the blue. That's truly the deal. But I definitely like the paisley pattern. Okay. Oh, I see. It shows you all the ones. It shows you all the ones. Alright, now we need to figure out how big our books will be. And what I'm going to do, since this paper is very thin, I am going to be adhering it to another piece of paper and then sewing it. So, ooh, will I be able to get 2 books out of here? Maybe not. I might not be able to get 2 books out of each of these. Well, poop on you then. Yeah, I probably won't, but that's all right. Then I'll just pick 3 different pages for another one. Whatever. Because for now, I'm probably just going to fold it in half and then figure out what to do from there. Just to get a gauge on how big it should be. Easier this way. Let's see, pencil. You need a pencil. Okay, let's try that. Oh, by the way, I got my small sewing machine working again. Okay, can't see the pencil mark, so that doesn't help. Okay, I see it. I see it. Okay, so this will end up being in there. It might have to be cut even smaller than that. I'm assuming potentially it probably will if I have 3 of these. Maybe not. I'll have to see. But now that I know what size I need, I can just take both of these, fold them in half. Well, I'll do them separately. And cut them the same size. Because these would be too flimsy as books on their own, so we're going to adhere them to some cardstock so they're a little bit beefier. Beefy. We want beefy books. We don't want wimpy books. We want beefy books. We want them to be hefty, 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 not wimpy, wimpy, wimpy. Okay. Now. Okay, and that is our 3 books for the first one. So let's start with these. Alright, I need my corner rounder. I don't need this anymore, so I can get that off my desk. But I do need my corner rounder, and I don't know where it is. Is this it? There it is. I found it. I could probably do all of these at once. Like so. Is this the wrong book? No, that's the one I did it for, right? Yeah, that's too small for that. Or too big for that. It's the purple book. I'll put that one way over there so I don't forget. Okay. Oh, I forgot I have to cut pages to match that cardstock. Maybe I'll do black cardstock on the inside so that they're not just stark white. And cut that to size. That would make sense, wouldn't it? This is how I do everything without having to measure anything. I just put it up against the other one and away we go. Okay. dipper off of that one. It's okay. It's alright. Alright, I'm gonna cut it in half. Stop it. Behave. Come on. Get evened up. I'm not good at folding, apparently. Apparently, I'm no good at folding. I need my bone folder and can't find it. As per usual. There it is. I never find anything on this desk. Quite the disaster area. Okay, and then we need to do corners. And then we have a nice base for our book. Which this one we may have to trim, but I'll wait until after. And if I have to trim a little bit, I will do it after. But at least it'll be nice and sturdy at that point, and then it'll be nice for in here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my glue stick you would think. Oh, there it is. And I'm going to do this with it folded because it'll be easier. And, well, I guess that didn't work out as planned, did it? I'm going to do one side and then I'll do the other side. I'll even put a little glue there. And then if I take this, come on, cooperate, dude, and line it up, I shouldn't have as much of a problem getting that on there nice and smooth like. Nice. And now we'll do this side. Great. Glad when a big glob of glue gets loose. I'll spread it with my fingers, I don't care. That's why I like the extreme glue sticks, is because they don't dry so fast. The other ones dry like immediately, like within 10 seconds of putting it down, it's like dry, and these stay wet a lot longer. They give you a little more work time. So it's not such a rush, even though I do go quickly with it. Okay, perfect. Perfect. I have a little bit of the black, like I said, is a little bit uneven, which I'll cut. I'm going to clean the glue off of my mat so that I don't lay it in sticky glue. We don't want to do that. And these books will be up in my auction on Saturday, the 20, 2nd is my auction, I think. And these books will be in there. Now, I'm going to do a little trimity-dimity. A little the white hanging over on this side, and then there's a little black hanging over on the other side. I wish I had time to make a lot of these books and like sell them in my store, but I just don't have that kind of time. Because I'm constantly doing something. So unfortunately, I don't have the ability to sit around and make books all day because it's really time consuming. I mean, this is an easier type of journal because it's not like, you know, just sew signatures and yada yada. But making journals, I've said this in a live stream, it always baffles me at how much people can get done. I mean, there are people that do these journals and they'll pound out like 5 journals and be like, I have 5 journals I'm putting in my Etsy. And it's like, how the hell did you get those done? Unless they worked on them undercover, you know, without doing it. A lot of them don't do it on their, like, they won't do it on their live stream or their video. They'll just say, I have these journals. They'll be done with them. I don't know how they get those done. Like, it baffles me because it doesn't take much to baffle me anyway. But that looks pretty good to me. As far as the paper, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do as far as the paper. I might do watercolor paper in 1. Painty papers. Maybe I'll do watercolor paper in 1, white cardstock in another, and then lined paper in another. So that you have 3 different types of books inside, 3 different types of paper. You know, so you have your cardstock you can stamp on and color with your Copics or what have you. And then you'll have your watercolor to watercolor on, and then you'll have lined paper lined paper to write on. That's what I'm thinking. I think that would be ideal. So let me get some paper. Here's some watercolor paper. There's 1 piece already. We'll probably do like 5 pieces, 4 pieces. This is fairly thick, so I don't want to make it so that it ruins the... Maybe I'll see how 4 pieces work. That'll give you 8 back and fronts. Actually, it'll give you more than that, probably. Because I don't want to make it so thick that it's like, looks stupid. But it's a travel notebook. It's not supposed to have, you know, it's supposed to... You take it with you and then you can switch the notebooks out, and you can obviously make more. They're super easy to make, but I could fit more like of the other kind of paper in. This kind is so thick, it's 140 pound. So unlike regular cardstock or copy paper, this stuff is quite thick. it's a little more persnickety to work with. Let me see how thick that is. I could do one more. Okay, I don't think there's anything wrong with that because I don't want it to be super thick. Let me cut these down and see how they work. Cut them and see if they do their job, because I also have to have enough, and I only have a certain amount of pages in each of these books, so I don't want to use up all of them, obviously. Okay, so we're going to mark this one here and here. See? Just a tad smaller on this end. Let's see, is that better? Perfect. All right, so this will be our model of how the rest of them get cut. Tigger, quiet. I'm not here to make noise and be annoying. Okay. I'm so out of the loop for doing videos that I keep looking up thinking that there's a chat. I keep thinking I'm live streaming. And I'm like, wait a minute, there's no chat. Oops. I'm an idiot. What you gonna do? But if you do want to see my live streams, aside from my Wednesday mixed media mashup, you can go to my Patreon, and for $1 a month, you will get weekly live streams, at least one a week, if not more. So it comes out to like 25 cents a live stream. It's not expensive, but it will give us the peace of mind and peace and quiet of having a secure live stream with no trolls or issues, no people coming in that shouldn't come in, and no drama and no issues. It gives us a little bit more security and privacy, and it's a lot of fun. We have a good group of people already, so, and everybody has weighed in and said they really like it. It feels, you know, nice and secure to them, so people have been really happy about it. I've gotten a positive response to it. So if you might be interested, just look in the links below for my Patreon. Like I said, it's $1 a month, and the only reason I'm charging is to keep the riffraff out. Because the riffraff ain't gonna pay no dollar to be a part of my live stream. That would make no sense. And plus, I know who most of the riffraff is, and I would see it before. Thank you, Nat. They wouldn't be able to sign up because I'd see their names. So yeah. And of course, when I stack these together, I'm going to have to go back and do the edge, but at least we got a good starting point here. See, because it'll start to fan out a little bit, as you can already see. Because every time you stack a paper, it sticks out that much. So it'll just do that. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 if you count both sides. So 16 pages if you do front and back. I might be able to fit one more. Let me see how this looks. Yeah, I could probably do one more. I'll do 5. Let's do 5. 5, 5, 5. Actually, I'll need this again. I will need it because I stack them all together. I'm going to have to do the edges and make that, see how that fans out. So what you want to do is put it in and cut it all off. And this may require me to stand up a bit if I can't get a good grip on these. I might have to do it from one side and then do it from the other side because this is a lot of paper. Actually, I might be able to do it from here. I'll have to go to the other side to get that last piece. Not perfect, but I'll fix that one. This one here, it's kind of gotten a little messy. It's just the last one. Yeah, let me just fix this edge ever so slightly. Smooth it out. On this side, yeah. And then I need to fix this edge. There we go. Nice and strong. There we go. Nice, fairly straight edge, except for that piece. Which piece is that? Oh, did I not get this piece very well? Little bits in there make it hard. There we go. There we go. Nice and straight. And then we've got a nice, fairly flat edge on it. Nice, neat edge. And then I need to do the corners, and then that book will be good to go. Good to go, good to go. And all I'm going to do to secure that is do a 2-hole stitch. Very simple, the simplest stitch you can do, because that's all it needs. It doesn't need anything fancy. Just something simple. First I'm going to do my corners. I can do 2 at a time. Maybe. If my arthritis will let me do it. Maybe 1 at a time is better. You want to keep them in the order you have them in after you do that, because once you get them situated, where you straighten the edge out, you don't want to rearrange the order, because then the edge will get all messed up again. So it's important that you keep them in their same order that you cut them and trim them in. Get out of the way. Okay. There's our watercolor sheets for our first book. That's the perfect amount. It's not too thick. That's what we want. We don't want it so bulky that it's like, because it's bad enough it's already kind of open a little bit. But once I stitch it, it'll help it a little bit, but it's still, let me just, before I go doing all that, let me do a double check, making sure that this is all going to fit in here without an issue, without causing me any problemos in the book. Perfect. It's going to be loose. I have to fix that. Perfect. Fits in there nicely. Nice. Okay. Nice. All right. So now, in order to get our hole punched, we're going to do this. And we're going to take this one. It don't matter which one. Actually, go back in and straighten everything up real nice. I always open it from the center so that it opens evenly. Go like that. Like that. All these little paper bits are falling all over me. Now I've got 2 holes that go all the way through. Now we're going to find some string and we're going to tie it. I'll probably just use some jute. Something thin and easy to, even though this stuff is a pain in my ass. I struggled with this after Mixed Media Mashup when we were in the stream, because like you can't just pull it. It just makes a mess. I don't know why people wrap things like this. Like, what do companies think of when they sit and wrap these strings so haphazardly? Just wrap it so I can unveil it. Like, why does it have to be this tangled mess? I never will quite understand all that. Like, what the purpose of that type of wrapping is. There's no way to get that out without making a humongous mess out of the whole thing. It just doesn't make sense. It really makes absolute zero sense to wrap it like this. It's like they take it and fold it in half and fold it in half and throw it in a package, and then when you get it, it's all like this jumbled up. You can't just unravel it. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Any way you slice it, don't make no damn sense to do it that way. So I don't know why these companies do that and think that that's cool. That's a good way. Yeah, let's do it that way. Let's make it so that when they unravel it, they ain't ever going to get it open. All right, so we're going to go from the back. We just put 2 holes in. I'm going to grab it on one side, grab it on the other, and tie it in the middle. And that's the end. That's the only thing we have to do. Aside from try to tie it in the middle without, you know, having any issues, which, that's funny. That's so funny. Like, I don't even have a way. I usually use a piece of washi tape. That's usually helpful, but I don't feel like doing that. So it's going to be a little loose. That's okay. It don't matter at the end of the day. As long as you can use the book. And there we go. Now you've got your fancy little nice thick nice watercolor paper, and book number 1 is now complete. Book number 1 is now complete. We have our book. More black paper. I'm covered in paper lint and crap. Story of my damn life. Oh. I haven't even been to bed yet. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon because, of course, I was woken up when Chris got here to work. So my ass is exhausted and needs to go to bed, but luckily I don't have to get up at any specific time tomorrow or tonight, to do anything major. So I just have to spend time packing orders tonight, one of that type of thing. Okay, well that was nice. Glad that decided to cut all the way through. Okay. The reason I'm not using a wet glue is because wet glue, especially with thinner paper like this scrapbook, how did I do that? Oh, okay. It's the same thing as before. It sticks out just a little bit. That's all right. No big deal. The thinner scrapbook paper, this is like copy paper thin. It's a cheaper scrapbook paper. It's fine, but it's just cheaper. But in using that, it would show like all the glue bumps if I just put glue on it, unless I brushed it all on, and then it would start to wrinkle and buckle. So this is the only way to get a nice smooth application on both sides without any kind of buckling or craziness going on, is to do it this way. since the paper is thin, the one paper is thin, it'll adhere to the black paper pretty easily without a major issue. Get back here. This is just the easiest way I find to do it. And you don't have to worry about it looking all wrinkly or buckly or weird, because that's what happens with especially thinner papers like these. It would look funny. It wouldn't go perfectly straight. So it's better off to do it with a glue stick, but you have to use a good glue stick, and I find that the Elmer's Extreme are the best. The Rangers are good too, but they're a little bit more expensive, I think. So I just stick to the Elmer's Extreme because they work exactly the same as each other. Whether it's the Ranger or the Elmer's, they're no different. It's just that the Elmer's ends up being a little cheaper for the quantity you get. All right. And it's just that. Give this a little trimity-dimity. Trimity-dimity-doo. And a little bit on, excuse you, a little bit on this side because my lining up and gluing skills are not the perfect, but it doesn't have to be. Get off. All right, dude. Scissors are clearly sticky. Sticky scissors. We don't want it. Just causing all the little papers to stick. We don't want the paper to stick. No, no, no. Okay. Perfect. I'll fix that a little bit. It is not folded nice. I'm gonna fix it. We're gonna make it folded nice. There we go. Nice and nicey. Nice and nicey. All right. Well, I think I'm going to stop here for now because I'm starting to get tired. But we have one book in, and that's this one here. Which side is up? This side. So we've got our blue book, our blue paisley pattern with watercolor, and then this one I'm going to put I'll likely be putting the, well, obviously one or the other. Probably cardstock. And then the other one will get, this one will get writing paper, and then I'll have 3 books with 3 different types of paper. So it'll be awesome. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and stay tuned because I will be working on these more. I may end up working on them more on Friday during the live stream, which again will be private unless you are one of my Patreons. Like I said, $1 a month. Check out the link below in the description for that. Also, I have new products in my Zibbit store. Ooh, I want to show this. I made this last night. You can catch this in the live stream that I did after the mixed media mashup. I did another live stream, and I made this little background. It's supposed to just be an example for somebody because they wanted to see something, and so I ended up doing this, and I'm going to send it to them. But anyway, in my Zibbit store, I've got all kinds of dies. Just to show you a few, all the ones that I've used on here are from my Zibbit store, along with these here. So check out my Zibbit store. The link is also down below. And you can get dies very cheap, and they cut beautifully, and they're awesome, and they make cute little sceneries for cards and ATCs and whatnot, because I think I did an ATC too. Where did that go? Here it is. I did like a torn paper ATC with one of them. So check that out below in the description, because I also have stamps, Halloween stamps and fall stamps and stuff like that. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Make sure you do what you love and love what you do, and be nice to people. Bye.